G'day everyone, my name is Matthew and welcome to you to howtoplaythesax.com. Here at howtoplaythesax.com we're all about having fun, playing saxophone, being awesome and repeating the whole process. In amongst that, there's a few bits and pieces that are probably a good idea for when you are playing the saxophone, and one of those is a mouthpiece. Saxophones don't work without the mouthpiece. Here's my sax, there is no mouthpiece. Why is that, I hear you cry? Because this video is all about a little review. A review for Yamaha mouthpiece, the Yamaha Alto Saxophone Mouthpiece 4C. Yamaha Alto Saxophone Mouthpiece 4C review. Okay, Yamaha. You cannot go wrong with Yamaha. Be that a mouthpiece or be that a saxophone or pretty much any other musical instrument actually. They make great pianos, they make great clarinets, they make great flutes. Yamaha make really good stuff. That includes mouthpieces. Now, this guy, when you first take it out of the box, here it is, you take it out of the box, it comes with a nice little fluffy foam protector gizmos to stop it rattling around. So inside the box there's one of those at each end. There's a fluffy thing at the bottom and at the top, and it makes it so it doesn't rattle around. So here, bear with me, here is my Yamaha 4C mouthpiece. It just looks like a mouthpiece. It's nothing spectacularly amazing to look at, but hey, that's all right. It goes in your mouth. It doesn't actually need to be front and center from a visual perspective. Now, the good thing about Yamaha mouthpieces in particular, the 4C, the Yamaha 4C is the bog standard. It is the standard mouthpiece. This mouthpiece can do pretty much anything. If you are a beginner saxophonist, get your hands on a Yamaha 4C. Roughly, and don't hold it to me, roughly they cost $40, $50, $60 thereabouts, depending on what country you're in, depending on the conversion rate. Here in Australia they're about, again, don't quote me, $48 to $52 plus or minus a bit. So roughly translated that's about 25 to 30 pounds. Roughly translated that's about $35 to $40 US. Anyway, beginner saxophone mouthpiece, and it'll actually keep you going until you're an intermediate saxophonist as well. They're good because you can use them for all kinds of music. If you're into classical, if you're into rock, if you're into jazz, if you're into blues or pop or relaxation music or dance music or even heavy metal death music. If you're a beginner saxophonist and even an intermediate saxophonist, the Yamaha 4C will do the job. Give me just a sec. I will put my reed on and I'll attach it to my sax. Bear with me. Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Here it is. And I'm back. Mouthpiece, reed, saxophone attached. Like I was saying before, they're good from a beginner perspective. They are good for quiet music, loud music, rock and roll, soft, classical, etc. Have a quick listen. I'll see what I can play nice and quietly. Here's a little quiet snippet on a saxophone, alto saxophone, Yamaha 4C mouthpiece. All right, how about something a little bit rock and roll? So there you go. Yamaha mouthpiece. If you are a student of any age, if you are a beginner saxophonist and possibly even an intermediate saxophonist, the Yamaha 4C mouthpiece, you cannot go wrong. As you get better with your saxophone, you may want to change mouthpieces. It's a little bit difficult to see on camera, but the gap between the tip of the reed and the mouthpiece itself is fairly small. So what that means is that you do not need as much effort or as much control. You still need a bit of control, but you don't need as much effort or as much control to get the reed flapping. And that's what makes the saxophone sound. So to put things into perspective, from a professional mouthpiece perspective, the gap between the reed, the tip of the reed and the tip of the mouthpiece is going to be a lot wider. So if that helps put things into context, a beginner mouthpiece or even an intermediate mouthpiece, the gap between reed and mouthpiece itself is fairly small. From a more professional perspective, a bigger gap. What that means is that you need a stronger mouth, you need to have more control, you need to have stronger face muscles, you need to have more experience to actually get it to move your mouth to get the right notes. So pros and cons. From a professional perspective, no, you probably don't want a Yamaha 4C alto saxophone mouthpiece. But like I say, from a beginner's perspective, get your hands on one, get your hands on one immediately. They're great value. They're really good for all kinds of music, particularly at both end, the scale end of things. You've got classical at one end, which is generally nice and quiet. You've got rock and roll, which is generally loud, and everything in between. Jazz, closer to the rock and roll end. Yamaha 4C mouthpiece, can't go wrong. Get your hands on one, go for it. My name is Matthew, once again, from howtoplaythesax.com. Yamaha 4C mouthpieces, they get a big 5 stars, thumbs up, everyone's happy, go for it from me. Thank you, and I'll see you again in another video at howtoplaythesax.com. Thank you.